Good morning, everyone. I'm Bhavana Saijan. Today, our team is analyzing different construction methods and materials that have been used in building construction. And our team members are Anu Hava, Ashwati Verghese, myself, Bhavana Saijan, Sanjay Salal, and Sebin Simon. So next is the project identification. So the project we have selected is the Bow in downtown of Calgary. It is one of the most impressive skyscrapers which extends over a height of 236 meters, and it is one of the second tallest tower in Calgary. The structure comprises of 58 floors, and it is constructed by the Letco group of companies, and it costs around 1.4 billion. And there are also 15 other skywalk connections from Bow to the neighboring buildings. Then next is the purpose. This building functions as the headquarters of Encana Corporations and Senvas Energy, and it also houses other Canadian companies. The master plan was created for regeneration of 2 city blocks on the east side of Center Street, and its major access run through the downtown Calgary. Then next is the framing technique. The framing technique adopted is diagrid system. It consists of a perimeter diagonal grid composed of 6-story diagonal elements across north and south elevations. Then the diagrid system is combined and interconnected with each other through rigid link beams which occur at the tip of the bow, every tip of the bow, and both the diagrids are provided are curved in order to match the bow shape of the building. Then next is the construction steps. So the first is site preparation and leveling. The construction site must be cleaned before the work is executed, and this involves removal of roots, grass, debris, and also leveling the ground area is included in this. And then excavation and PCC. In this, the foundation trench is being excavated, and a layer of PCC is laid in the dug portion before placing of the reinforcement for the foundation. Then next is the foundation. It is the part where the building is actually supported, and the load is transferred from the superstructure to the soil, and it should be extremely strong in order to handle that load. So here mat foundation is done in case of bow. Then plinth beam and slab. After the foundation work is done, the beam framework is being started, and it is poured with concrete. Then next is a superstructure column and beam. Superstructure is the portion above the plinth level of the building, and the component of the superstructure are beams and columns. And the column is built up to the slab level, and the frame is further, and on that frame further construction is prepared. Then ground floor umbrella. In order to facilitate the erection of steel tower ahead of the completion of parking, slabs below the grade, top-down construction technique is adopted in this. So majority of the portion is like a steel ground floor umbrella. Then next is the structural systems. A lot of structural systems were initially considered for building this, and finally it was agreed to build a perimeter diagrid frame which is coupled with 2 other systems in order to form a hybrid. Then formwork. Formwork is a temporary or permanent molds in which concrete or similar material support. Then doors and window framing and fixation, and after that doors and window frames are fixed at specific positions as given in the drawing. Then electrical and plumbing. These are installed in walls and slabs that they are not visible after finishing. Then pipe and point end are left out that may be finished after electrical fixtures and plumbing. Then floor slab and roof structure. The framework is started to construct slab resting on the column or beam, and over the slab formwork, the slab reinforcement is done according to the slab detail drawing. Okay, thank you. Next portion is structural systems.
Hi everyone, good morning to one and all. Myself, Sebin Simon. I am going to briefly describe about the various structural systems which are used in the construction of the bow tower. So as you can see, the various structural systems which are used in the construction are the gravity system, the lateral system, the diagrid system, and the atrium wall system. So while looking to the gravity system, in the gravity system, the building floor framing consists of structural steel beams with concrete on the steel deck or the composite slabs. The gravity columns of the tower were the structural steel. Prior to the construction of the above building, the most economical high-rise construction in Calgary utilized the reinforced concrete or post-tensed concrete floor framings systems. These alternate concrete framing systems were initially considered but rejected due to the considerable effects on the column size, construction time, etc. So while the gravity system is introduced, now we can look into some of the advantages of that. This gravity system permits even distribution of heat as well as air transfer between the raised floor and the structural floor without any hindrance or interferences. The composite gravity system helping reducing the column size and as well as minimizing the depth of foundation. So now we can look into the lateral system. This hybrid lateral force resisting system called LRFS involved three primarily braced frames coupled with the steel moment resisting and as well as structural steel shear wall. Overall, the lateral system mainly consisted of four principal components. They are the 6-story high diagonal grids are faceted along the building perimeter. The diagrid elements are interconnected through the core with a series of braced frames. Similar 6-story modular diagrid spans outside the atrium and is connected to the bulk of the building. The two dominant diagrid elements are interconnected at the ends of the building with a series of rigid frames. So why the lateral system is introduced in the building? So with respect to the perimeter diagrid system, the lateral system with limited interior bracing towers saves approximately about 20% of the structural steel when compared to the conventional moment frame structure. That's the main advantage. So that resulted in the reduction of construction complexity as well. So that's it. That's for my part. Thank you. Now I am passing to my companion Sanjay Salil to take the other remaining the structural systems which is used in the bow tower. They are the diagrid system as well as the atrium wall system. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good morning all, myself Sanjay Salil. Now let's have a look at the few more structural systems that have been used in the bow tower. The diagrid system. The diagrid system is involved in completing the perimeter lateral load resisting system. At the preliminary stage of the design of the diagrid system, various cross sections of diagrids have been studied to determine the impact on aesthetics, intrusion with the atrium wall, piece of connections, and constructability. Finally, on the basis of the cost of the materials, round hollow structural steel sections with flange plates have been used in the construction of the diagrid system. The diagrid system consists of perimeter diagonal grid, which is composed of 6-story high diagonal elements. The diagrids, as you can see in the picture, the diagrids form equilateral triangles which resist wind, seismic, and gravity loads. Now let's have a look at why diagrid system is used or the advantages of the diagrid system. With the use of lighter steel structures or the hollow structural steel sections, the total weight of the superstructure has been kept at minimum. So a more economical foundation is used for the structure. The next advantage can be, even though the design of the diagrid system was a bit of a challenge in the beginning, it has helped in reducing the construction complexity. Now let's have a look at another structural system, that's the atrium wall system. The atrium wall system is the most dramatic element in the architectural design of the structure. The design options included rectangular shaped steel elements, round pipe, and triangular shaped steel elements. The atrium wall is designed to absorb maximum heat from the sunlight and use it partially to warm the building during winter. Now let's have a look at the advantages of the atrium wall. The atrium wall system incorporates several sustainable strategies that help to reduce the energy consumption, which in turn helps makes the building an environmental friendly one. The curved shape of the bow tower reduces or resists the wind loads, thus reducing the required amount of steel required for the structure. That's all about the structural systems. Now I invite Anuhava to explain about the materials that have been used in the construction of the bow tower. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Anuhava and I am going to talk about the materials used in the construction of bow tower. Construction materials are the important components of a building. So here in bow tower, the major materials used are steel, glass, concrete, gypsum and halcyon. First one is steel. The entire structural work of the bow tower is made of steel. And the major steel components are structural steel framing, die-grid steel structures, vertical steel bracing system, and a long span steel floor framing or composite steel decks. Let's see what are the usages or benefits or why they used steel structures in their construction. So this system helped to minimize the size of columns as well as the depth of foundations. As a result of the lighter steel structure, it helped to build more economical foundations. Due to the usage of high-strength structural steel, it helped to create more smaller vertical and diagonal columns and braces. As a result of that, it helped to accommodate more large column-free floor spaces. Due to the effective usage of steel framing, it reduced floor-to-floor height for low-span floor areas. Other than that, it provided greater flexibility in accommodating changes in the future in terms of building occupancies, additional loads, and tenant improvements. Usage of composite structural steel columns also increased the speed of construction in a better way, and it also helped to manage the amount of labor workers. As a result of that, it reduced the cost for construction. Apart from providing striking aesthetics to the building, die-grid structural steel system allows space and material efficiencies which contribute to sustainability goals. So from the overall view, the usage of steel structures help to create more usable floor spaces and provide access of natural light to the interior space. Next one is glass. So in bow tower, atrium wall was made of glass curtain screen wall along with the height of the building, and it makes the building very attractive in terms of aesthetical sense. It provides access of maximum natural light to the building interior space. So it helps to make use of maximum daylight. It provides thermal efficiency to the building also. When we look at the building, we don't feel that the building is very rigid, massive, or solid. So the usage of glass reduces the building mass in terms of perception, and it also reduces the risk of damage to the exterior surfaces. So that's all about it. Next, I'm inviting Ashwati to take over from here.
Thank you, Anu. Good morning, one and all. Myself, Ashwati Varghese, and I'm here continuing with the materials used in this project. First material, here the material used is concrete, and it is used for both concrete foundation and for roof deck. The bow tower has the largest concrete foundation in Canada, and here as foundation, structural panel concrete foundation walls are used, in which the panels are arranged vertically with the long direction parallel to its studs. In case of roof deck, structural panel concrete roof deck is used, and it is non-combustible, durable, and have great uplift ratings. It also does not buckle, warp, or create moisture issues for the roof system. And the next material used is gypsum. Ultralight panels of gypsums are used for sealing in bow tower, and which has a thickness of 12.7 mm. These panels have a composite design with a high strength to weight ratio, and as the non-combustible core is encased in 100% recycled face and back papers. The long edges are folded with a natural finish paper in which the ends are cut square and even to reinforce and protect the core. You can see this in this figure, that the ceiling Edges are finished with natural finish papers. Next material used is halcon. The boat tower is constructed using halcon acoustic panels. It ensures exceptional acoustic absorption and the built to last. It is mild and sag resistant, and its properties like noise reduction and high light reflectance increases its value. They are very easy to install, clean, and maintain, and they are impact and scratch resistant. Next, let's move on to the critical overview. The unique structure of the building made maximum implementation of heat and light design efficiency features. The building's form deflects the prevailing winds, allowing for a lighter structure. Next, the solar heat collected in the atrium is redistributed throughout the year. The bow also establishes lateral connections with the surrounding buildings. The tower is fused at 2 points to Calgary system of enclosed walkways, which offers a retreat from the city's harsh winters. Unique design has achieved its aesthetic goals and will be a distinctive architectural feature for the city of Calgary. And thank you for hearing us. Thank you so much.